The next Marvel show on Disney Plus has all 6 episodes released, so is it worth the watch? Let's find out in the review. Welcome back to the channel. This is Let's Be Real Brad. I talk about movies, TV shows, and other fun and exciting videos on the channel. If this is your first time here, smash that subscribe button, drop a like on this video. Ooh, I hit that. And hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. Today, we will be talking about The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It is a new weekly episodic Marvel miniseries on Disney Plus that stars Sam Wilson and Sebastian Stan as Falcon and Bucky Barnes. The series follows the events of Avengers Endgame with Sam Wilson / Falcon and Bucky Barnes / the Winter Soldier team up in a global adventure that tests their abilities and their patience. I was looking forward to this series because it takes the 2 characters we all know and love as side characters in these Avenger and Captain America films to being the main characters of their show. I was also very excited being Marvel's second big budget show, looking and feeling like an extra long Marvel movie. We were also extra excited because once we saw that small interaction between Sam and Bucky in the back of the car in Captain America Civil War, everyone knew they should at least get their own movie or show. The last thing before we dive into the review, I will be talking about significant spoilers from the series, so you have been warned. So without further ado, let's get right into this, starting with the positives. The first being Sam Wilson's arc of becoming Captain America. This aspect is the backbone of this whole miniseries that I think was most engaging and the most interesting. I think I can say that most of the fans knew he would become the new Captain America by the end of the series, but the emotional and physical journey he has to go through is what made the show so good at times. The show brilliantly inserts the themes of how there will be people who won't accept Sam as Captain America because of the rooted racism this country continues to have. I'm so happy that they addressed this because this is the first time the MCU has addressed this central issue of racism. This idea never felt forced and always felt relevant to his character arc. I also enjoyed the storyline with Isaiah Bradley and how he has this bitterness toward Captain America because of what he had gone through. He became a mentor to Sam Wilson, offering some conflict to take on the mantle because it represented the blonde hair, blue eyes of the white man of Captain America. Sam decides that he wants to change this and become Captain America, which made this arc so much more complete and challenging to do as it will be in the later installments. The Bucky Barnes storyline was also good for the most part. I enjoy how he's trying to let go of the Winter Soldier persona that he still bears. I love how early on we see how this has caught him all these years, destroying his mental health and who he is as a person. I also love how he tried to right his wrongs and make up for what he has done, but by the end he learns he needs to do more than that. I also really enjoy all this, but he takes a massive back burner by the middle of the series and doesn't feel as relevant to what was happening. Even in the series finale, they quickly went by his storyline thinking that they just rushed it all together. I also enjoy the acting as I thought it was pretty good, as it normally is in these Marvel projects. Of course, Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan were great in these roles, as I genuinely feel like the characters we have grown with over the years. But the best performance is Wyatt Russell playing John Walker, aka the new Captain America, aka US Agent. His performance is so damn good, giving a top 5 best villain performance of the franchise easily. I think I can speak for most of the fans when I say that he is easily one of the most annoying and hated villains we have seen out of this franchise. He did everything right with what he was given, as I hope we continue to see him as a significant force in the future. I think many comic book fans agree, but I loved how accurate it was to the source material of the comics. Malcolm Spellman took different aspects of the comics involving these characters, which showed how much he cared and respected this universe and the massive fans. The costume design is so damn good, especially especially with Falcon's, I should say Captain America's new outfit is just like the comics, and it looked amazing. Even Baron Zemo having the iconic purple mask that he wears like one time, mainly for the marketing, was still a nice touch. It will make the comic book fans very lovely and happy. Now, let's get into the negatives, starting with the Flag Smasher storyline. I found this storyline to be so uninteresting and plain boring. They started being this mysterious terrorist group that wants to go back to the old ways before the blip. They cause terror and violence, being unpredictable of what they do next. My biggest problem with this storyline is that it became so incredibly predictable with what they were going to do with the group, acting like they'd be the main villains of the story. Still, we all knew the show was going to manipulate us into thinking the Flag Smashers aren't just the main villains, even though they cause terrorism and are very undeveloped characters to be misunderstood. By the end of the series, they felt like plot devices to make our characters do stuff and develop them to move with them into future projects, which is so damn disappointing. Another major issue I have is with the story. I felt like it was all over the place with too many characters and trying to set up as much stuff as they possibly could. I think they should have stuck with just the John Walker stuff. He is easily the most interesting new character of the show, so why didn't you just stick with that? There was no reason to have Baron Zemo or Sharon Carter in this series. They were only in this to market the show with characters we already know, but let's be honest, they don't really do anything. We find out at the end that Sharon Carter might be a villain or maybe even a Skrull. Then Zemo is in it as a plot device so he can be cool and dance in clubs to then be taken away by Wakanda so we could give the Dora Milaje come in and fight some people, which was pretty badass, by the way. This aspect could have all worked in a 13 episode series, but instead everyone is all mashed together with storylines and subplot that they all kind of sideline one another at one point. I also found that when the series was focusing on the mission stuff around episodes 2 through 4, I found it to be remotely uninteresting. It felt like a generic action thriller show with superheroes mixed in with actual good moments to focus on. They basically threw it in here so fans wouldn't be bored of the show so they can have their punching and kicking superhero parts that they all love. Another negative is the episodic weekly format. The episodic weekly format was so ridiculously unnecessary because the filmmakers know fans will watch them every week. It doesn't work because I felt as though I couldn't judge any of the episodes after I'd watched them. After all, it is a mini-series, so why didn't just release it all at once? WandaVision always felt like it was designed in the weekly episodic fashion that made everyone talk about the episode for a whole week on social media. I didn't see nearly as much attention to it for this show because it was never intended to be that way. The last thing I want to talk about is the direction. I found the action sequences to be so damn mediocre. At times, I couldn't even tell what is happening with just an insane amount of bad editing to go along with it. It is presented in such a dull, uninteresting way that I wish the fight scenes would have just ended because it was just an actual run-of-the-mill, emotionless action that I just didn't care about. But the only one I did care about was the fight between Falcon, Bucky, and John Walker, which was easily the best. I wanted more because there was so much emotion and tension behind that fight at the beginning of episode 5. Overall, this is a show that I wanted to love. It had everything set up to be a fantastic show, but it fails hard in so many areas with so much buildup and not hitting the expectations it set up for itself. There's so much to like about this show, but I don't find myself going back to watch it even though it is a good show. I am giving The Falcon and the Winter Soldier a 6 out of 10. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the following video.